So here it is, all the deer damage. This has been through 2 different times my fence came down. The tornado hit, fucked a lot of the trees up. One of the trees broke down the fence. It took me a few days. In that time, wiped out everything. Well, as you can see, everything started growing back. These little pom-poms. You know, all my trees had these little pom-poms. So growth was coming back. Well, there is a perfect split down the side of my tent. I haven't quite figured out what happened. I also found a pile of corn about 10 feet off the back of it. Actual like cracked corn, feed corn. I don't know. It got put there by somebody. It didn't just magically dump because I don't have any other animals that I feed. So my dogs and cats don't eat corn. But I'm not saying that the fence was cut yet. It was pretty freaking straight on the seam, but I don't really believe anyone would actually purposely cut that fence, but who knows. Anyway, a deer came back in here and just completely demolished everything. I already cut a few. As you can see, this big branch came out 3. I had to cut it off. It was all broke. Well, this one crosses over. I don't really want it to be my main leader. If I chop it here, I could probably let this one grow up. Maybe kind of correct it with a pole, a bamboo stake or something. But I know for right now, these two growing up the same place, that's going to interact with each other. Definitely about the max caliber that I can cut with these cheap yard works or from Menards, but any type of hand pruners like this, you definitely need a saw or loppers for that. So I'm going to put my plant tag back on it. That is the Rainier Supreme tree. That just means it was a bigger caliber, like a deluxe. It's a dwarf cherry, Rainier Sweets. I got 2 of those. I'm just going to put this back on. So I just got off midnight shift, so I'm working against the alarm clock here. I really need to be going to sleep, but I wanted to get this cut off whenever I get a day off here in a few days. I don't believe, especially it's end of August right now, I don't feel like I need to paint any of these with prune sealer or nothing like that. There's a dead branch. This right here, that's all dead. I could probably just snap it off, so we'll snip that off. All the tips are chewed up, so I'm just getting rid of all that right now. So during my winter prune, I will, anybody else hate pruners? So I'm right-handed, so I have to cut everything upside down. Like, this is the natural feel for me. Well, then the squish part, the flat part that's actually going to squish the cut, is on the tree side. And the fresh cut is the part I'm kicking off. So I have to cut upside down or hold them weird like this. I feel like this should be where your 4 fingers are. I don't know. It's cutting off all these dead parts. I'll come through winter prune, shape the trees once it actually goes dormant. So, like, see this? I have to cut it upside down. I don't know. Maybe just how I'm standing. Who knows? This is another cherry. This is another Rainier. My other sweet cherries over there to the side. But as you can see, and we got some cicada egg damage. I put some pictures and stuff on Instagram previously of that fiasco. It's not been a good year here, man. Look, even that one. That was a good branch. That one's gone. That wound kind of scares me. I may actually chop it below, but you can see where I pruned beginning of this winter, beginning of this year. Well, it's still dormant, and this is the New Year's growth. It's not looking too great. Oh yeah. So that's probably gonna die anyway. I didn't even see that part. You see where all the cicada eggs are hatching? Just blew right out. Don't plant your orchard a year or 2 before cicadas come. But I have lots of good nodes right here. I need to check the branch to see if there's a lot of cicada eggs or the holes where they lay them. I'm just gonna do it. This is sickening. And this is way too thick a caliber. There's no way to graft this next year. Like, I can't use this for scion wood, so. See, I just messed up. See, I held it, squish cut on the bottom, just blew that cut all to pieces. So we're gonna go down a little bit more. Get a little angle on it. What else we got broke? They really did a number. Just chewed everything. You can see it's dying where they chewed it and broke it off. Got in here all my corn. I needed a place to plant corn because I got a pumpkin patch over there that deer don't mess with. The neighbors feed it with corn. If you remember the corn talk earlier. But I needed a place to put the corn where the deer wouldn't get it. So I scraped all the mulch out, tilled it, planted, I think it may have been 60 corn, something like that. Right where they busted it. So they ate all the corn. I ended up just spraying it with a light herbicide. I'm gonna cut all that out here in a minute and put a few more buckets of mulch, cover up that area. They really did a number on me. Here's another broken part. The problem is the damage from the cicadas. And then the deer just made it so much easier for the deer to break off. So I was gonna prune here. I don't know how the lighting is because I can barely see my screen. It's so bright out here. But that whole thing is just chewed up with cicada damage. So if you look in there, that would have probably died next year anyway. This is growing into that one, so there's no point of even keeping that, like at all. Flip my pruners over. Two branches growing on top of each other. Get rid of it. Now this normally would not be when I do my pruning, but I'm already gonna piss the tree off, so might as well. Took the lower one that's shooting out so it gets further away from the tree. I'm not gonna worry about cleaning up any of the lower on the branches. They did not touch this apple or this peach tree at all. Luckily, the deer did not touch this peach tree at all. This is my biggest peach tree. It's probably 7.5 foot tall, really wide. This grew in, this is its second year. So it had all last year to grow. I planted it beginning of spring. It grew last year and it grew April, March to now August. Massive tree. That is the Red Haven peach, I believe. I got a map on my phone because this one, I only have 2 peaches. Yeah, this is Blushing Star. So this is that white peach. Deer already wiped it down this year. It's grown all this back this year. I need to clean that up when it goes dormant. This is the Red Haven. I'm sure a lot of people know what a Red Haven peach is. So that is going to produce a ton of peaches next year, as long as this can be maintained, pruned, grow enough to get flowers next year to help pollinate this Red Haven. I need to show you another cherry. I forgot about this cherry. You can tell I let my asparagus get crazy, didn't even mess with it. I pretty well got overwhelmed with all this damage from the tornadoes, the cicada, both of my deer incidents. They shut me down. Like, I pretty much gave up on a lot of things. So now I'm trying to get back in the mode. Just slacking off for a couple months can really affect me for years, or it could set me back a year or two. So all this is dead wood. I'm not even gonna let it grow to have to cut it off when it's dormant. So the end of that's dead. I'm just gonna cut it off. This is bent way down. This one I'm actually just going to prune to an upper node. Actually I'm not, because it crosses into that, so there's no point of even keeping it. There's some dead stuff below. Get that off of there. Hopefully those other nodes in there will fill in. This one I'll prune to one pointing up, so it tries to come up out of this weird little shape it's in right now. All this damage here, I'm gonna leave it. That's all the cicada damage. That may die. That may not even come back next year. We'll see how it looks when it goes dormant. If I can just grab it and just crunch it, I'm gonna cut it off. So this is not Bing cherry, Stella. It's Stella or Bing. I'm guessing all the branches he broke. I'm guessing all the branches the deer broke took my plant tag. So I'm wanting to say Stella. So something about peaches. They did wipe this one out early in the year. He didn't touch this one this time that I know of. Well, yeah, he did. He just nipped the little tips off. But he didn't devour it. Did not touch the Red Haven again. So maybe there's something there with the Red Haven the deers are not touching. So if that's the case, that may be a good variety to plant. But every apple they wiped out, every cherry they wiped out. I know they like apple wood. Even if there's not fruit on it. I heard the wood is sweet to them. They can smell this shit for miles. Look where he tipped that off. That's dead. Let's take that whole thing off. Problem is he's getting all my little things that would be fruiting wood. Basically just, I'm not trying to plan for fruit next year by this pruning. I'm just cutting the dead stuff off. I'll see what happens for this winter, and then we'll come back out here and do actual pruning for the shape of the tree and to establish fruiting wood for next year. I think that'll be all right. Same thing here. It's Granny Smith. That was a Golden Delicious. This is a Granny Smith. So you chewed that piece up. Just try to get right above that node. This is another yellow. My two edges are yellows. It's yellow, green, yellow. So if that one was Golden Delicious, this is Candy Crisp. I'll have to look it up. See, it's broken right here. So all that's going to cause us trouble. Just chop it off right there. It's too bright right now, so this video is shitty. You may not even see it. I can't really see the screen to see what's in focus, what's not. I'm too much in a hurry. I don't have time for the tripods and all that right now. So just wanted to give you a little update of what I got going on. The pumpkins. The pumpkins are doing absolutely phenomenal. There are some massive pumpkins. Hundreds and hundreds of pumpkins. You can tell with the tornado, I still got tons of trees back there I got to clean up. This burn pile was absolutely massive. Tons of fuzzy damage there from the cicadas. So that's going bye-bye. Flip the pruners around. Oh, flip them around again. We got another bad one there. Broken one right here. I'm gonna try to not cut the other one. There's another broken one. Man, he's everywhere. This is a Fuji. All the apples are semi-dwarf except for the Candy Crisp, which is way, way at the end. I planted it, it died, or it never woke up. So I got my money back on that, but it did start shooting a shoot at the bottom that is right, like touching the graft. So I can't really tell. It's just a hair above the graft, but where it comes out actually goes into the graft. So I don't know for sure if it is the Candy Crisp or if it is the Super Dwarf rootstock. Either way, I want to keep it. If it is the Super Dwarf, the reachables from Gurney's, then I want to keep it to maybe graft maybe to graft the tree back onto it. gonna go ahead and cut this out because this is growing across it. Yeah, I could let it grow and then cut it when it's dormant for scion wood, but I have tons of scion wood already. So all this stuff growing into each other, I'm just gonna cut it out. There's no point even wasting the energy because, like I said, I don't need scion wood. I don't know what it is about the cicada, but it's some fuzz. I've never seen when they actually hatch. Never had an orchard of small trees. All the big trees you have in your yard for shade trees and all that, they survive right through the cicada damage. You never even know. But I don't know what the fuzz is. So I gotta get back out here. I am gonna spray the trees. I haven't sprayed them in a while. I'm actually not seeing any aphids or anything, but I don't know what the fuzz is. So if you guys know, put a comment down below. It is happening everywhere there's damage, so I do believe it has something to do with the cicadas. But that is, like I said, that was the Fuji. This is the Heart's Fancy. This is a Gala crossed to Honeycrisp. Super sweet dessert apple. I gotta cut this one way down here. I'm gonna cut it here. Hopefully we'll get something in one of these nodes. Just completely chop the height of the tree. This one's growing stupid into itself, so chop that there. Chop that dead part off. There's a broken one. Jesus. Is that not sad? Like, you guys see any of the videos? I'm converting it to the channel I was putting it on, which is a little different type of gardening channel, so it really didn't have nothing to do with the orchard and all that. So I'm trying to get these two things separated. So if you did follow from the other thing, you've seen how big these trees were. You've seen how great they looked. Happens fast. I got to get in there and do some major cleanup. All these weeds growing. Got weeds and grass all around the grapes. Did add some more berries. Got tons of different blueberries now. That's it for now. I'm gonna try to do a few more minutes of workout here, and then I gotta get to bed. So hopefully you see an update video right after this where they're looking fucking awesome. Just gonna toss in a few pictures here. This was the first deer damage. This is where they completely stripped it a few months ago.